red light therapy is really interesting. It's really, there's about 7,000 studies now that are published in the PubMed. So you can go look at this for yourself. It's very well substantiated to be used for re-optimizing cellular function in all ways. But if we're talking about neuropsychiatric stuff, we're talking about the brain, right? And there's a number of things going on that are really beneficial. One of them is that red light therapy increases mitochondrial density. And so the mitochondria is the light receptor for red light and near-infrared light therapy. And when you have more of them in every cell, the higher count of them, you get a more impactful, a more significant mitochondrial response, a healing response. So we want that. But more than that, it comes down to like, how do you quantify brain function and cognition and all these kind of ephemeral concepts like mood and personality and outlook on life and positivity, rather than getting into the weeds of some of all these different mechanistic actions at the microscopic level, which we'd get lost in. Let's just look at it high level for a second. When we improve cellular function and re-optimize cellular function, the cells work better. When we talk about brain cells working better, that positively impacts all of these psychological issues that we're talking about. So an interesting thing about light therapy that was not understood for a while, but is there's recent clinical evidence, is that when you shine near-infrared light on the nerve cells in the brain, dopamine and serotonin get released. So now, for the first time, we're seeing support in the literature for using red light therapy for depression and anxiety. There's another study where the anxiety index drops really dramatically, and these are studies where they're doing only a few sessions. Like, people are seeing positive benefit in terms of depression and anxiety in one session, and then, of course, over time, over 3 or 4 weeks, progressively getting more and more benefits. So it's a really exciting thing, but it's like, well, it's not just the dopamine and serotonin, right? We're actually trying to fix the functioning of the cell. We want that nerve cell to work perfectly again. So one of the fundamental central effects of near-infrared red light therapy, also called photobiomodulation, light controlling biology, is basically regeneration. So with red light, near-infrared light therapy, you can promote regeneration of the cell, including nerve cells. So this is something that's not really conventionally accepted in allopathic medicine. Allopathic medicine says when you get a TBI, a traumatic brain injury, you have a very short period to recover. Otherwise, you're stuck with whatever symptom set you have, and especially at the 6-month mark. But what we see actually with red light therapy in concussion victims, both from veterans and also youth sports concussion victims, is that you can get like 100% recovery from traumatic brain injury using red light, near-infrared light therapy judiciously, along with like omega-3 supplementation and other stuff. And in fact, if you get a TBI, you want to take omega-3 fats like immediately, but also the red light therapy. And so what's going on is that we're regenerating and repairing and restoring an optimal state to the brain cell. And when we do that to all the brain cells, we can also see this, and I can provide you some references after we talk so we can support this. But basically, we're seeing that the red light therapy doesn't just improve the individual cell function, it improves the neural network overall. So it's improving the functioning of the entire brain tissue, and its coordination and working in concert with the neural tree down the body and the autonomic nervous system. And when we do red light therapy on our whole body, let's keep in mind that we don't have nerve tissue only in our brain. It's really everywhere, and we want it all to work better everywhere. So it's really fascinating how well it works, and it's really also fascinating that there's really no side effects